Hello, Reese from the Point Music Podcast thingy. Back with a new episode. Our very special guest this time around is JaZZella. JaZZella has released two new killer singles. Shoot and You My Dude is the latest one. She's playing with a full band at Caloundra Music Festival. I know this is going to date the podcast, but I don't care. Caloundra Music Festival is on this weekend, which will be the October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. If you are heading to Caloundra Music Festival, go see her. She's playing on the Soul Stage on the Saturday at midday, and then on the Sunday as well as appearing with Chris Uggy, her partner. His band as well is on the Sunday with the full soul thing. Just JaZZella's an incredible artist. You need to go see her. That's basically it. I really do hope you enjoy this podcast. We chat all sorts of things. She's had an incredible career. Ladies and gentlemen, and people of all sorts, JaZZella. We are rolling. JaZZella, how are we?
Reese, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. I have to comment firstly on your hair. That's pretty wild stuff, man.
Thank you very much. Gets it off my face.
Is it like a special sort of CMF kind of hairdo?
It's just what I was feeling today.
Just feeling today?
Yeah.
Like, how long does it take to do that?
About 6 hours.
So, yeah, 6 hours just to feel like that today. And then tomorrow you won't feel like it.
Well, we'll see. It'll probably take another 6 hours to get them out. So
Yeah, then you'll have super frizzy hair.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Just keep it in.
Take it
man.
back to the night.
Why not? Hang on, you weren't even alive in the 90s.
Yeah, I was born in 97.
Oh, wow, you're like 3 years old, like, right at the end of it.
Well, I was still there.
Yeah. Do you remember anything, though?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I started singing at 2 years old, so that would have been 1999.
You would have
That's
seen
when the career started.
when all the crazy stuff. I wouldn't be surprised with someone like you, mate. To be honest with you, because I've been following your ups and downs. So
Thanks.
more ups than downs.
Definitely.
Just like to point that out.
Well, it's, I try my best to have a positive mindset and look at every situation from kind of a neutral point of view. It's easier to do that, down the track.
Well,
you
have been doing this for a very long time. We will get into that, but firstly, let's talk about You My Dude. So well done on that new single. It's smashing it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's been on my laptop for about 3.5 years. So I'm stoked I finally actually released it.
At least it's not like 6 years like Chris.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure Chris, he wrote all of his songs within that 2 months of creating the album.
Yeah, I know. I read. I was just giving him a bit of stick. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a long time between singles. But yeah, back to you. So yeah, with the article and the press release that came out, it was basically like a jam that came together that you really felt something and really clicked. Is that my understanding of it?
Yeah, I was just home alone one night jamming out, and a lot of those hooks came to me, so I wrote the song, and I just happened to have a jam booked in with my band the next day. So when I got there, I showed them the song, and we all just were vibing with it, and we sat in this little hot shed for about 6 to 8 hours and just played the song over and over again. And so we had like all those defined sections and like the funk part in the verse 2 and the rap. It was a lot of fun to create.
So writing it down though, did you demo it when you actually sort of created that? Did you sort of
Yeah. So I demoed it at home the night that I wrote it. I just recorded it on Logic.
All right, yep.
And then I took it to, it was much slower. This song was like 30 BPM slower.
Wow, so it was like a slow, dirty groove kind of thing.
It was, yeah. And then I decided to funk it up with the band, make it a bit faster, give it a bit more vibe, because that's how I play it live.
Yeah, no, because there's a lot more energy into this version, which is what I dig about it.
Thanks.
There is something about the way you do the rapping parts and that, and I have said this to my wife Cherie as well. Do you know is it Queen Herbie? I'm trying to think. She sang the song. She was in a group that sang a cappella. Like
Queen Herbie.
yeah, is it Queen Herbie? Oh no,
I'm not sure.
but very.
Does it give you the vibe?
It's just very reminiscent of what the style she does is you are very very similar to that. It's very cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I could be completely wrong with the name there because I'm not a massive fan or anything like that. My wife is. I just sort of just I listen to way too much music and it just goes way over the top of my head.
What kind of music are you into?
Too much.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't dip into country that often. I can say that. That's basically yeah. But I'm not dissing country because there's some amazing country artists out there. But yeah, it's just not my jam. Though if Shania Twain comes on, then I will do a bit of a butt wiggle.
Cool. Good to know. Shania Twain will get you down.
Yeah, why not? So you're actually playing Caloundra Music Festival coming very very soon. As in, like, really, really soon. As in, like, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super pumped. There's so many amazing local acts, and I'm just thrilled that everybody has this opportunity to play on such an awesome stage and finally have a festival after many, months of not much live entertainment.
Yeah. Have you been to a CMF before?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah, I went to my first Caloundra Music Festival when I was about 14. So that would have been 10 years ago now. So yeah, big supporter of the CMF.
But this is the first time you actually played it, is that right?
Yeah. I was involved in like a mini Caloundra Music Festival event last year. It was like a COVID edition. But yeah, this is the first time on a big stage.
So you get to do 2 shows, don't you? You get to do the Friday and the Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday. But
okay. Yep.
I'll be there on the Friday. I'll be watching everybody and supporting all the bands.
Because you're opening the Soul stage, the big stage on the Saturday, aren't you?
I think so. Well, I'm starting at 12 p.m., 12 to 12:45 p.m., and I'm not sure if I'm the first band.
Usually it does kick off around about midday for that sort of thing.
All right. Yeah. Well, then it must be the case.
Yeah, it could be. It's a fun stage to play on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you played on it?
Twice now. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. What were you doing?
I'm playing barefoot.
Oh, sick.
So I'm playing. Saturday.
So they've played the past 2 years, have they?
I think this is our 9th year playing it or something like, or 8th year playing it or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we shouldn't have been playing this year, but we got asked and we went, you know what? Let's do it.
I'm stoked. So what time are you on Saturday?
I think we're on at 4:30 up on the Sun stage.
Oh, dude, I've heard that's an incredible stage.
It is fun. I think we've played nearly every stage there now.
Cool.
Yeah, because we started off as a little 4-piece and we played like the tiny little songwriter stage. We've done the sand stage, we've done the surf stage, we've done the soul stage. And we've done every stage.
Wow, good on you. That's a huge achievement.
We're such Caloundra Music Festival halls.
So do you have any advice?
Just enjoy the moment and I wouldn't say don't do anything. No, just take it all in. It goes real quick.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, you're playing with the full band, right?
Yeah, I got my 5-piece with me.
Yeah, so you'll be right in the moment there. And don't ramble too much.
No chatting?
Well, chat a little bit, but yeah, just you can get sort of stuck in the moment and you want to tell stories, but instead just people just want you to play the music, man.
Yeah, you're right.
And you got some pretty wicked music, so just play it and make them dance. because I
Thank you so much. I've got a bunch of songs in this set that I haven't played in a couple years.
ooh.
Um, they're some of my favorites, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to kind of playing them for the first time. One song's called "Tuesday You Kissed Me," and it's sounding pretty badass.
So you used to do back when we could you used to play a lot of the cruise ships and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Is that
yeah,
how
that
you?
was with the band.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was with the band.
Yep. So you basically
Um,
honed your skills that way.
Yeah, I kind of been gigging since I was 14 years old,
Mm.
but we jumped on the cruise ships at 18, and they do like three 45-minute sets every single night, 6 nights out of a 7-day week,
Mm.
unless you're on like a 3 or 4 day cruise. So it was the perfect chance to just practice and like get all these kind of tight versions with the band organized of like all of our favorite tunes, and it was just an inspiring place to be. So I did a lot of writing, and we could play those songs that night. So yeah, it was a creative space.
So how did you go like doing that 3 sets a night every night for 6 nights a week? How'd your voice handle that?
Well, we basically did like one cruise a month. So
Okay.
I'd have the other couple of weeks off, or I'd do some gigs on land.
Hmm.
But it was easy at first. Didn't really bother me. Like I was just loving it and living for it, and that's just where I feel like I'm being myself is when I'm on stage, and it's how I was connecting with everybody. So um, yeah, at some point I started to lose my voice, and there was a bit of fatigue there. But
Mm.
you know, as a young artist, I just sung through.
Did you change your roster of like session musicians that play with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'd always try and like spice it up, take someone different. We've got about 30 musos.
Oh.
Um, yeah, around like the Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sunny Coast area. And we alternate between them, and it's this big community, and everyone's unique and special in their own way. And so we always kind of pair like the bass and the drummer together that we think would vibe. And yeah.
I'm assuming that now I'm throwing it out there, but Costa from Fat Picnic, did he play with you at all?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely he's one of the go-tos.
He
He's
man,
incredible.
he's almost like that dude. One, I've partied with him a few times at festivals and that sort of stuff, and he cracks me up. He is an absolute gem of a dude, but also outstanding bass player as well. So yeah, that's
Oh
cool.
wow. Yeah, we did a lot of cruise ships together, created arrangements together. He's incredible at his bass work, but also his writing and his
Yeah,
guitar and his production. I mean, yeah, he's a really talented guy that we're lucky to jam with.
and speaking on bass players, a little birdie tells me that a very special producer is jumping on bass for you at the Caloundra Music Festival this time.
Yep,
Yeah.
Lord Tanuki himself.
Awesome,
Oh
man.
man, is this real life?
Yeah.
I'm stoked. He was involved with, a lot of obviously all of the mixes on my album,
Mm-hmm.
and his flavor was incredible. And yeah, this will be our first show together, so we're looking forward to it.
Oh, Lord of Groove, man. Like he's taught me. Like I've been playing bass for 27 years, but there were certain things that he taught me that I didn't know, which was just awesome. Mainly the science
Yeah.
in recording, basically, but and why? Because being a bass player, you're told to basically pull back a lot in the studio, and it gets really.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to be not offended by that when you're watching like the guitarist shred or like the vocalist doing amazing vocal chops, and the bass player's just got to sit in the pocket. But he did explain to me as to why, and once he explained the science behind it, I was like, why didn't all these other producers before that actually say, this is why we want you to just play it like this and not like that? And it would have saved a whole heap of hurt feelings on these bass players' behalf because they just told us just behave and just play the simplest parts.
Well, yeah, I mean, he kind of explained something along the lines of that to me the other night too, and it did blow my mind. Basically, about how, like, the bass player, that soft touch and having that ability to like completely flat, like
Mm-hmm.
mute the
Yep.
notes and have that full silence. Because when you're on like a big festival speaker or something,
Yep.
you don't want that the sound of open strings
Yep.
or like what it's going to do to everybody's ears.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a wealth of knowledge. It's impossible not to learn when you're around him.
I know, ain't it? What? So this "You My Dude" is the second single that you brought out.
It is.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
have we got a full album?
We do. There's a full album, and I recorded it slowly over the course of a year, which was so enjoyable. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't pushed. It was kind of just going into the studio and thinking about what we felt like that day and what we were inspired, to do. So yeah, it was a very natural process, and I've kind of picked the singles that tell a bit of a story. So yeah, the next one that's coming is very exciting.
So was it bordering on concept sort of album sort of thing if you're telling a story throughout the whole thing? Or was it just...
Well, I mean, there's just a journey that I was on while I was writing, and I write about everything that happens. So there's a lot of light and shade on the album because, there's a lot of positive stuff going on, and there is also darkness as well, and you can't have the light without the dark. And so writing about, the good stuff and the bad stuff, but having this kind of tone throughout the whole album of like playfulness and lightheartedness and maybe a bit of sarcasm and, that humor behind all of it is kind of what makes it all meld together and sounds like one piece of work.
So how long did you actually spend in the studio piecing this all together?
Well, a lot of it, so basically Chris and I would set up like a home
pre-produced,
we would pre-produce, and it was COVID throughout a lot of the time. We were all in lockdown, so we would send our demos to the band members, and then they would record their stems, send it back to us, we'd mix it, produce it, and then basically have a piece that was ready to go to the studio and have like that final tweak. We'd basically produce it further and record vocals with Steve Summers. He's one of our head producers on both of our albums. And once we'd get like the epic piece that we were proud of with Steve, Polly B would come in and complete the final mix.
Yeah. It's been interesting watching Steve's journey actually, because he was under Paulie's guidance, but now Paulie's just basically just goes, just do your thing, and then you may fit all the things or may not. Steve's finding a really good niche himself. Sorry.
Totally. And I mean, there's nothing that he can't do. Every idea that I had or every concept he would come up with, I'd be like, Steve, what about this? I don't know what button to press, but whatever crazy things come to mind, he just makes it happen. He just knows what to do, and he makes it sound amazing. And he's got, he knows so much, like the science behind it all. And none of it would sound the same without him. So I'm really grateful.
So you're learning along the way though. Would you actually try and do some, like produce our own track yourself?
Definitely. I mean, so when I go in and record a song, like I have my whole studio plan with me. That's got all of like production ideas, what we'd like to do with the stems that we've brought in, and the charts and the chords. So I'm quite involved. But I love leaving that last step in the hands of like the professionals that just know, I love setting up the idea at home and like doing the home production with Chris.
It's less stress anyway.
Yeah, well, I love collaboration. I mean, it only gets better with the more people that you've got kind of looking at the work and chucking in their ideas. And I love it when the song changes. So yeah, I like that evolution.
It's a weird thing because I just had a mix come back for another one of my bands from the mixing engineer that I'm working with, because I do a lot of producing for this particular band, and I heard it and I was just like, it's missing something. And I spent like last night probably about half an hour, just went through or loaded the track up. I just went rearranged the tracks, and I went, it was missing like one little air gap just to make a certain section just really kick hard when it comes in. and
Right.
it needed something extra just to like cue in a track or something like cue in that section.
Yeah.
So I quickly
Yeah.
found one of those like a dinner bell. I had one of those. I quickly just recorded it on my phone, just as ding in the
Oh,
bathroom, and I went, yeah, load the track in there, and holy crap, it works. I love those, but like that stuff there, I wouldn't know from
that's so
unless I'd
cool.
worked with someone like Steve or with Paulie B, just adding in these random sounds just to make something work, right?
Yep. Exactly. Yep. There's nothing they can't do. I mean, and everything can be a sound in their eyes or in their
I
ears.
know. It's so weird though. Like I think Paulie stuck in like a bag of coins dropping or something like that in one of the Barefoot's tracks.
Really
Yeah, it's wild stuff.
cool.
Yeah. Now being because you are legit just basically a full time musician, correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so how did last year really? How did you handle last year? What did you end up doing?
Um, well, uh, basically, I walked into the music shop, Lullaby Music. They've supported me since I was 14. They helped me, they sponsored me with my first PA so that I could get out onto the gigging scene.
Nice.
Um, I walked in and I said, hey guys, I've run out of gigs and I'd really love to work here and be a part of this incredible community. And the boss came straight out and hired me. And then I started my shift the next day.
Saviors.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
music equipment like went through the roof like as soon as like all that lockdown stuff happened, particularly like
Yeah.
home production, home studio equipment and pedals and all that sort of stuff. Like I found it difficult to get the stuff in.
100%.
Yeah, so you would have been busy.
Well, everybody wanted, well, yeah, because everybody wanted to come into the music shop. And so it was an awesome time to start because I just had all these years of experience with using different mics, using different pedals. I'd used all this home recording gear, PA systems, guitars, bass. Like I had an understanding of these instruments, even electric drums. So when I got the job, I was like, wow, I understand all of this stuff. And people were coming in wanting some creative supplies for COVID, and I find it really fun to like recommend to people stuff that I know works. And yeah, so I love that job, and it's given me the stability to keep funding my original project and getting into the studio and making all of this happen. So I'm really grateful.
But I do believe you. Is it correct me if I'm wrong? Are you working with Taylor and Alice as well?
Yeah, they're some of my good friends. What?
It's
Well,
just
I don't think it's a community. Yeah.
yeah.
I, so Taylor doesn't work there, but she's a big part of just the whole community at Lullaby Music.
Yeah.
Alice works there. There's Jade, who's one of the engineers at Yama Nui, also works at Lullaby Music. There's an incredible chick called Leash. I mean, the whole team, they're all experienced musos, and all really creative, and it's an amazing place to come and just even say hi.
Man, I would actually pay to see a collab between you, Alice, and Taylor, because like I've watched Alice and Taylor grow up as well through
Yeah.
like open mics, and their careers just go woo crazy. So you three
Yeah.
together, holy crap, collab, do it.
Definitely. We definitely want to write a song together. And we've got jams that we have to do. I mean, we kind of just end up getting all the guitars out and playing music together every time we hang out. So it's happening. But yeah, we can film something. We can put something out
But
there.
didn't you guys all support each other for like for whoever's single launch? Because I know Taylor did like the Chaser single launch just recently, and didn't you
Yep.
do a single launch there too?
Yes, I did. And Alice played at my single launch as well. And she played at Taylor's single launch. And yeah, I think it's incredible to just have a community of women that are supporting each
Hell
other.
yeah.
It's beautiful. It inspires me a lot to see what the girls are up to and to hear their music. And I just think it's a beautiful thing that we all get to share.
Definitely. I mean, there's 3 different styles there too, which is cool.
Definitely.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
sorry, you were gonna go.
Well, yes, Taylor did call me up last week and she said that she's got a song idea in mind. It's a country song, but she needs a rap in it. So
Kill it.
there's something happening there.
Oh yeah, go for it. I do want to bring up that you are playing in Chris's band as well on the. Is that on the Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris, oh, gee, it's going to be epic. My best friend Meg is also in the band, and we've got our own thing going on. It's very different to what I'm doing in my project, and that's all I'll say.
That's all you'll say. You're keeping it for then.
Yeah, yeah. You just got to come watch the show.
That's a good teaser. That one. What does Chris have to say about this though?
Do you have something to say, or are you like a no comment dude until the? Yeah, I think he's too cool.
Ouch! Wow.
What is it? Do you have what's your comments on the show? Do you have a teaser?
My comments on the show. I would say that it's just it's a big, awesome soul band with some of my favorite music idols and best friends. So I'm lucky to have 7 of my favorite people on stage with me, bringing my original creations to life. I just feel super lucky. So
Chris,
come down
man,
and check it out on stage.
you're giving us some full-on Daniel Bedingfield vibes with some of the stuff you're doing at the moment, man. Because I've listened to some of your tracks.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm super stoked to be putting music out again. Feels good.
Ain't it what? Very lucky. Very lucky.
Quick.
He's over there. We've got like a whole gym area set up in the lounge room right now. You can't see it, but there's fairy lights. All our pedals are out. So we've got all the gear, and we've basically been setting up all these patches and sounds for our festival show coming up this weekend.
We're experimenting.
So we are experimenting. We've been jamming for the past couple of hours. Things are sounding pretty rad.
So how's the noise in it, or do you guys just do all in-ear sort of stuff?
No, we're just playing music. The neighbors like it. They enjoy it. Sometimes they clap. Which is
really?
nice to have a bit of encouragement. Yeah, while we're practicing. Yeah.
Go stick a hat outside and start busking for them.
I hadn't thought of that. It's a great idea.
Well, basically, you're doing like a house concert for them. You should start charging.
Yeah, no, they're really supportive. They came to the Malula Bar music show, and they sat in the front row, and they were like, yes. So we had their blessing to jam out.
You're very lucky, mate, to be honest with you. Because, like, yeah, most of the time it's just like noise complaint city.
Yep. Well, I've actually never had a noise complaint. So.
That's not true.
Called out, busted.
Oh, man.
Hang on, are you drinking out of Chris's mug?
No, this is The Adventures of Chris Aggie and JaZZella.
Ah, okay. So it's just that yours was a fancy font. I couldn't see it. And Chris is like a real bold
Yes.
font. Yeah.
This is merch from our first tour. And it's very high quality. I mean,
Stick
still
a
going
bold.
strong.
Choose a bolder font next time. It may stick out a bit.
I think it's fading a little. It's probably fading.
It's
Anyway,
been well
I
loved.
know what it said.
So, like, I actually because I'm good mates with Danny, your publicist, and
Yeah.
playing a band with him. He gives me insight, and you would have to be one of the most organized musicians I think I've ever come across.
Wow. Thank you. Well, what makes you say that?
Because I've seen how you actually have like a chart and of things to actually get done and listed.
Yeah.
Whereas most of the time, coming from my perspective as a journalist, I'm trying to get people to just give me the most basic of information half the time. So props to you. Why and how do you do that?
I'm just serious about what I do, and I like to do things well and to my best standard. And I think that in the music industry, you need talent and to practice and to have the skills, but there's so much more that goes into like a successful music career.
Yep.
And as an independent artist, there's, you know, you got to think about other things. You got to think ahead about like your brand and your content and what message you want to put across, or what is your point for why you're even creating this art or putting it out. So defining that was the first step. And then you got to think about marketing and PR and you know, basically managing the whole thing as a business. And sometimes you have to do that while you're also working other jobs so that you can fund it.
Yep.
Just takes a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of effort. But if I'm serious about this, I'm just willing to put those hours in.
See, I have the same approach, but my secret weapon's just ADHD.
Cool. Yeah, you got the hyper focus.
It's how I manage to get stuff done. Like, be in 3 bands, run the point, run a full-time job, be a husband, have kids. Yeah.
But but that means that you're obviously passionate about what you do, you know? Like, if you can get into that mindset and you're willing to like put all that focus into it.
I'm just stubborn, and I've been in this industry for a long time, and I just don't want to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've got the focus,
Yeah, well,
which is really good.
Well, I mean, yeah, it just takes a lot of hard work, but that's the point. Paulie B was chatting the other day, and he was like, you know, the start of your independent artist career is like a 0 to 60 zone,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to burn a lot of fuel to get, you know, up to 60 before you're cruising along.
Yep.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean, because it's very hard, and like even I struggle with it sometimes too, mainly because I got to run 3 bands. If it was just 1 band, I think it'd be all right. But trying to be, like you're saying, those multiple roles. Okay, so you just said you got to be your own basically business manager. You got to be your own publicist. You got to be your own social media manager, as well as find time to create, which is the main thing, main reason why we do what we do. Okay, we're constantly wanting to create music that creates emotion and makes us feel good, as well as making other feel good. But with it's pointless doing that if you've got no means of getting it out, and we have to take those roles on unless you basically have the coin behind you to pay other people to do it.
Exactly. And also, to be creative, you also need that downtime so that you can even get in a creative mindset. Because if I'm, you know, exhausted or tired, like the last thing I can think about is being expressive. So you need to be getting like enough sleep and enough just rest days after gigging, so that you can, maintain that whole overall balance. And balance is a hard thing to achieve, but that's the point, right? That's how we enjoy the journey.
What really inspires you to write a track, though?
Something happening. Like, I usually get triggered, or you know, it's usually when I'm alone. I'll just have a thought, and if I start writing, normally the song's finished within about 10 minutes. But then I can go months without writing as well, just because I'm busy, or I just, you know, the idea isn't naturally coming. I never try and force it. So yeah.
Do you feel, because I get ear fatigue, so if I've been recording and writing, and basically I have been writing my own album, well, for one of the bands for the last 18 months, and I feel like I got ear fatigue from it, do you think that's an actual thing? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely an actual thing. I mean, you use your ears for everything. By ear fatigue, do you mean like you're losing your hearing, or they just can't hear? They're tired?
No, it's more, you know, when you basically you're writing something and you've written the certain word so many times that actually goes, is that how you spell that word?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but like sonically.
Yeah.
It sometimes you sit there going, does that actually sound right? Is that supposed to sound like that? And
Yeah, I've had that before. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's the worst when that hits you, like when you're at a live gig. You're like, I can't. It's happened to me once or twice over the years. I've just hit this point where I'm just like, man, I can't get pitch at all.
But you would be using in-ears and that sort of stuff too when you're doing that with the bigger gigs, yeah?
Sometimes I do. I should get better with that. Some of my gigs, really, like a lot of my gigs have a great PA provided with awesome, sound engineers and fallback, and so I can hear myself pretty well. But for bigger gigs, yeah, I do have a set of in-ears, but I also I love actually hearing it. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So ears are kind of isolating sometimes.
Yeah, I started using them in practice, particularly with barefoot, just so I could get harmonies right, because I always struggled getting pitch with two other singers trying to fit in the middle there, and
Right.
being a bass player, in is a weird thing because you still want to be able to hear yourself, but you can at least feel if I had the bass amp behind me, I could feel myself. Well, that sounds weird.
Yeah.
I could feel the bass coming through.
Yeah.
If you know, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
That's a weird thing. I do want to talk about your sparkle guitar though, because it's actually very pretty.
Sparkles. Thank you. She's an Ibanez. It's a PS60, and she's a beast.
She is a beast.
It changes my playing. The moment I got that guitar, I started using crunch and way heavier distortion on my tones. Instead of just using a clean tone, my guitar before that was a Gretsch. So I would play
all right.
Yeah, I've got a big guitar collection. But I was playing this hollow body Gretsch, and I had this soft jazzy touch. And when I got the Ibanez, that just made me kind of want to rock out. So yeah, and then it just made me play faster and take more ripping lead solos because I felt like Paul Stanley.
That's from Kiss, for those people that don't know who Paul Stanley is.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, that's the beauty of a new guitar. It inspires a whole kind of new personality of the player that you are.
Did you have that one custom done, or was it basically stock?
No, I just saw it sitting up there on the wall at Caloundra Music, and the moment I saw it, I was like, this is the one. I need that sparkle guitar. And yeah, just bought it on the fly.
You used to need to get a gold one now.
Yeah. I'm pretty stoked. My latest guitar is this red Strat called Cherry.
Ooh,
and 10 years older than I am. And it was made by an old friend of mine, and that's made me play completely differently as well now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I find that with being a bass player, I've got a short scale 4, I've got a 5-string Music Man, I've got a 6-string custom string, and each one I use for different bands.
Yeah.
With different tones. I mean, if I'm doing session work, I'll use the 6-string just because it looks intimidating and it makes me look more professional than what I actually am.
Cool.
Yeah,
that guy knows notes.
Yeah, that's it. He's playing a 6-string. Oh, look out. Yeah, okay, he knows these things, and I'm usually just doing bump, bump, bump. But there's always that need to get another bass, and it's always in the back of my mind. So I could feel what you're doing when you see another guitar, and you're going, oh, yeah. How many guitars do you have?
I've got a beautiful black solid Gretsch. I've had that one since I was 16. That was my first electric guitar. I've got this red hollow body Gretsch that Chris and I called the Red Gilt because we jumped off a cruise ship in Sydney, and we just fell in love with this little guitar shop, and that guitar was in there. It had just come in, and the guy made us an offer we couldn't refuse. So we called our landlord and we said, we're going to have to hold off on paying rent for the next 2 weeks. It's an emergency. And we never felt guilty. So that guitar is, the Red Gilt.
The Red Gilt.
Yeah. I've got this beautiful $6,000 Taylor guitar that is just everything. We've played it through most of our tours. Chris is jamming on it right now. And that was given to me on the street when I was busking at 17. What? Yeah, this gentleman just put it next to me. He was watching me busk, and he came back a couple nights in a row, and he said, I believe in you. This one's for you. And he just bought it from Caloundra Music and gave it to me.
hang on. You were gifted a $6,000 guitar,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, I know. So so the plan is to pay it forward. I'm hoping to pay it forward to somebody one day. He was an awesome dude. I think that basically he was doing that for a lot of kids that were busking along the street. I heard that he bought someone a saxophone and he supported another young guitarist, and yeah, I think he's now in Bali helping young children. He's a volunteer worker. Or there's something. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he sponsors children to get an education and to, I don't know, have a better way of life or something like that.
So he's a
he left about
philanthropist, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. That and then you got the Ibanez as well, and the cherry strap.
Ibanez, Strat, every guitar has a story.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay. That took a turn. That went somewhere else I wasn't expecting to go. We'll wrap things up now, Jazz. Because we're just about to hit the 40-minute marker, and you didn't even probably realize we've been chatting for 40 minutes.
Oh man, it's been great. Thank you so much for the chats and for the advice on not rambling too much at the Caloundra Music Festival.
It's all good.
From the seasoned player, I really appreciate it.
I'm sure I will catch you there. I'll try and get there as early as I can, because like most of the time I usually just bum around.
Well, I can't wait to come watch your set. You're on at 4 o'clock, right? 4:30?
4:30, I believe. Yes.
4:30 on the Sun Stage. I'll see you there.
I'll see you on midday. Was it midday? Midday. Soul Stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Midday on Saturday, 5:15 p.m. on Sunday.
Guys, I will stick you and my dude in the description of the video, as well as in the actual podcast, the audio version of it too. It's a ripper of a track, and yeah, I will catch you around.
Thank you so much, Reese. It was a pleasure to chat.
You hang on the line there. I'll have a quick debrief with you. Everyone else, adios. Thank you for tuning in to the Point Music Podcast thingy. I really hope you enjoyed that one. Good chats with JaZZella. Very intelligent and super talented artist. So do make sure you go, if you are heading to Caloundra Music Festival, go see her sets. And if you haven't checked out You My Dude, or should, then do so now. There's always some cool stuff coming out of Yama Nui Studios, which is where she recorded. Anyway, more coming, as I always say. And thank you for supporting local music, live music, Australian music, all sorts of music. You guys are legends. We'll catch you on the